Okay, I don't know what happened. And I don't know when we got cut off, but perhaps my battery died because I realized I'm not fudged in. So I will have to go back and see. Hopefully you're still with me. We're making the tux for our, this is going to be part 77,000. But I'm not sure when it got cut off. So hopefully not too long ago. Oops, but I'm just to the right of that, or to the left of that mark, because I want it to be just that size. Just that size. And I have more here. So this is what we use to make our tux with. Okay, so now, how tall do we want this one? How tall? Just how tall? The first one I made was pretty small. He's a pretty little shorty guy. So you just kind of got to decide how much do you want to be exposed of your other thing. So I think we're going to go with right about there, maybe 1.5 inches or so. We're going to just eyeball it. So there's our cut line. And again, we're up against the edge to keep it straight. And now we're going to cover it. And what shall we cover it with? What shall we cover it with? We had all those pretty pictures. Let's use one of those. Let's see. What do we have? More bricks? That's the back of the bricks. That's a pretty little window. Kind of like that window. I'm going to save that. Oh, look at there. That's pretty mess. We're going to use that one. There was that. Okie doke. Here we go. And we're gluing. Oops. You know what? Just for kicks and giggles. No, we're not going to. I was going to use Fabrifix, but we'll use the Fabrifix when we adhere this. Oh, see, I didn't rinse my brush and it's kind of stiff. It's gotten kind of stifferoo. So this is why we keep the water and the brush rinsed out. In between gluings, things can go wrong. How are we doing? Oh, I should have checked. I'm just, hope we didn't miss very much of my yammering on. We probably didn't. Okay, nope, because we're in the middle of gluing. Okay, so, excuse me, pardon me, excuse me. We're going to just eyeball. Let's put it that way. Not that it makes any difference. See, I love how the light shines underneath and I can kind of see where the edges are. And this way I can file all the way around. Where's the braim? The brayer, whatever. Again, we're using just a magazine sheet here for this, and so it's kind of wrinkly, but when you use these two things, the brayer and then the nylon bone folder, it just works out really nicely to get it all flat. Okay, so this is how we're making our little tuck today. It should be pretty easy. Okay, it's turning into fall in some parts of the world. Not here. This is Las Vegas, people. It was 110 today. Oy, oy, oy. I went outside to fill my fountain up and pick up dog poop. That was exciting. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, now we're going to take our little corner chomper. What size corners do we want? I don't know, but I found this one first, so it's the one we're going to use. Sometimes it's a matter of what's found first. Oops. Come on. There we go. We'll force you if we have to. I don't know when the last time I emptied this thing was. Probably 100 years ago. That could be part of the problem. It's backed up. You know, we get backed up and things don't work out right. things don't work. Okay, so now I think we're going to go back to our evergreen bough. Hopefully it will show on this. We shall see. Evergreen bough dauber. Not so much, but that's okay. It just we're just getting the idea, and it just kind of takes away any white on the edges. Excuse me, I had to scratch my nose because my nose is going berserk, and it never fails. I can be at the dentist. Whenever you're not allowed to touch your nose or your face, my nose will itch. That's the rules for my body. Okay, now before I glue this on, what did I say we were going to do? We're going to do a major gluing. So this is the fun part, ha ha ha. We're going to glue over this, and see I barely let that dry. That's okay. I want to knock back the shine on this, and also it seals it real nicely. So I'm just going to do that and then set it aside, and we're going to do the same thing for the entire thing before we add our whatnots to it. So get to matte mediuming. And that will also bind everything together. So like where we have the different layers there, and I'm going to go around the edges to pull those in, and dries to a nice matte finish. Okay, I think we'll do it front and back so we can handle this. May be a bad idea. There's really no rhyme nor reason, okay, to what we're doing here. It's just get it done. Get her done. Get some wine. Let's get our wine card. This time you want to be a little bit careful about touching the back side, because like I said, I do have glue on that side too. Okay. And that is I think that's where our little hole is. We'll deal with that. We'll deal with it. Just, I hear ya. Be patient. Going over the entire thing. This is where we're getting messy. It's always good to get messy. And it's going to bubble up a little bit more, but that's okay. We're going to go back over it again. See how it's bubbling right there? Bubbling, bubbling, bubbling brook. I'm just going to kind of push it with my... But you can see how it took the shine right off of that. Here's another little trick. When you have these little bubbles, just kind of poke little holes in it. And I promise you, over time, those bubbles go away. And I'm pushing, pushing, pushing to the outer edges to push the air out. That also helps. And I don't really mind the wrinkles. Some people don't like them. They want it perfect. But the wrinkles kind of make it, to me, have that aged look again. All right. I'm really using the card, aren't I? No, I'm using my hand because I want the pressure. That really turned out pretty, didn't it? With that. And still pushing the air out. Sometimes it takes a little bit of work, and I'm using that where the bristles go in and that meet the metal. Sometimes if you just kind of push using that with the firmness, it helps. This paper is saying, what are you doing to me? And it's fighting you, and it's saying, oh my gosh, these are things we're not used to. We're used to just being a boring piece of paper, and now you're giving us character? Ugh. It'll all be all right. Oh, see, don't tell anyone I sang a formalized song. Somebody else's song. Gonna have Casey Musgraves on my back. That's all right. She's a good girl. Okay, we don't have to go down through the whole thing on that one because, again, what did I tell you before? We're covering it with the tuck. Ooh, we're getting sticky now, getting sticky. Fortunately, this matte medium, it really doesn't take very long to dry. If you really don't want to get your hands wet or gluey, or you're worried about it for some unknown reason, which is fine, you can do it piece by piece and use your little heat tool, air dryer, blow dryer, whatever you've got, and dry each section. That's fine too. There are no rules. There are only basics. There are only, well, let's try this and see if it works. Sort of like, you know, let's throw some spaghetti at the wall and see if it sticks. Really don't understand that. What's that all about? What's it all about, Alfie? There I am again. There's always a lyric to every piece of words. I'm always having a lyric go through my head. Okay, we're cooking, we're cooking. I think we've got them all. I can feel them. They're all sticky. Okay, so I'm gonna just pause real quick and I'm gonna dry this and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. I dried. We dried ourselves, and I also kind of tidied up a little bit. Had to get rid of some of those scrappage. Okay, so let's get back to this. This little dude's dry enough now, and he's gonna go right there. And we could embellish him before or after. I just want to stick him on. And if you'll notice, I only rounded the top corners. I kept the bottom straight. This is Fabrifix, the fantastic Fabrifix silicone glue. Glues. It says right on it, bonds fabric, lace, leather, trims, and more. Washable, acid-free. We all sound like advertisements. Okay. And now, excuse me, could you get to where I can see you? One and all. Okay, toodaloos. And this is not the one that's having joint issues. That looks pretty. Where is that one? Oh, and I wanted to show you. When I was drying the glue, I turned it over, and before I was done it drying, I realized, look what I did, it stuck. Here, I'll show you. To that. Came right off. So what am I gonna do? I've been thinking about that. We're just gonna age it. We're just gonna pretend like that we meant for that to happen the whole time. That's just part of the paper. That's just the way it came. So see, nothing that can't be fixed. No harm, no foul. It's still wanting to tear. That's okay. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna quickly, shoot, I put that away. This is what you can do. We're gonna go like this. We're gonna take our glitter glue. We're going to carefully rub some over it, like that, just to kind of seal it down. Give it a nice little love there. And it'll dry, and it'll all be better, and nobody will even know that I got ahead of myself or whatever I did. Hey, where's the baby wipe? I have so many laying around here. I try to keep one fresh one out and I lose track. Oh, for heaven's sakes, we're gluey. Okay, so that's gonna be all right. I think that might actually be the one that's kind of crackly. We're gonna let that sit. Okay, so let's make real quickly. going back to prototype here. So the next page down, well, how do I say that? That's actually when you first open it. So this is going to be way down here. The next page down is just another tuck. So in the instance of time, I'm going to just show you the different things that I made. These are all just little tucks, so we're not going to make those right for the video, but I will show you how I made this cutesy little notepad. Okay. And it is just fun to make little notepads. So instead of using that well-noted paper, I am going to grab some coffee dyed paper, and I just want one. Well, that's 3 sheets. That's okay. We'll make it into, I think 4 works pretty well. So we're just going to use this as a, wait, which spot does this go on? I gotta remember. It's all very confusing. See, it goes on the balloons. Okay, what are they called again? Lanterns. So that's the page it's going to go on, is the lanterns. All right. So we're going to just cut these to size. Maybe we'll tear them. That'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it? Oh, terror. Now, because we're going to just kind of be wasteful here. I won't waste it. I'll use it. But I really want my tears to... I'm just kind of folding it back so I can see where I'm straight. Turn it over, being a righty. And if you put your ruler down and then you kind of pull it back and push the ruler at the same time, so I'm pushing the ruler with my left hand, that makes sure you get it right exactly where you want it. We're turning. We're going to do the same thing for this side. Now this one, I want it to be, do we want to do a fold up? Yeah, I think we do. So how far up do we want it to fold? Let's just fold it. We want to fold it like right there. So that's going to be permanent. Look at the glue coming off of my fingers. And we're going to tear it just above where that little funky spot is. Right there. Oh, we might want to consider being straight. Consider it, at least. Okay, so we're going to line up our crease with our grid on our craft mat. Make sure our ruler is doing said same, and tear. Okay. So that's only 3 sheets. That's okay. We want 1 more sheet. Guess what? We've got more paper. So we're going to, let me just quickly make this and I'll come right back. Okay. So now we've got several sheets. 1, 2, 3, 6. 2 times 3 would be 6. There's that math. Creeps right back up on you, people. Kind of like that page. But I only want 4 sheets, just because I think 4 will fold up nicely in the pocket. Pocket. Maybe that's what we'll call it. A waterfall pocket. I kind of like that. Waterfall pocket. Okay, so now, how did I make the top part? Well, let me show you. Somewhere in the drawer. First of all, I have these little brads. Had those for 10,000 years. Don't ask me, please, where I got them. I have lost my mind. Nope. Nope. I just saw it out of the corner of my eyeball. I saw it under the scrap pile here. This is from the 50s. This was my dad's. Gilmer Company. Anyway, it's a very old, standard, boring hole punch, but it's got a little tiny hole. See that there? And so what we're going to do is we're going to eyeball, because heaven forbid we should ever have to measure, but I do kind of basically, let me just tell you here, the basic width of this thing is 2 inches. Hey, I did pretty good. 2 inches. So, no. 1, 2, 3, 4 inches. So the half is 2 inches. So what we're going to do is we're going to go, there's the 4, so we're going to go a 1/2 inch to the left and right of each. Nope, down a little farther. We want to, pretty good. We're going to put just a little dot where we're going to poke our holes. And I love my little old, I don't know if you can see, finding the dot. Punch. Punch. Now, you can pick your color. Let's use green. Because why? Because we're doing naturey stuff. There's one little teeny tiny brad. Gosh, I wish I knew where I got these. I have had them so long. I honestly have no clue where I got them. You can probably find them on Amazon. Heck, isn't everything on Amazon? No, it isn't. I was looking for a movie. Actually, no, it's a TV show that I love that I won't go into at this juncture. And I wanted to buy season 3. Could not find it. Nope. They didn't have it anywhere except for somebody was trying to sell a copy for like $300. And I said, no. So anyway, did you see what I did there? I just poked it through. And then, da-da-da. Nothing ever is easy. Okay. So that's all there is to that. And now, it's a little long. We may have to refold you, little suckers, just because we don't want overhang. Overhang would be bad. And I lost, gracious gravy. This is one of the reasons why we need to keep ourselves somewhat organized. Now you could, if you wanted to, do a little bit of that stuff around the edges. Since I said it, I might as well do it, huh? Just to give it a little more flavor. You know, a little punch, a little pizzazz. Now, how are we going to stick this in here? Well, my friend, let me tell you, it's pretty easy. We take our friend the Fabrifix and we just go right across the top. Just like that. And we're gluing. Now we just gotta press it down. Dun dun dun, dun dun dun. 1, 2, 3. And there you go. Okay. And there's our cute little notepad. Oh, see, we didn't, I should have scooched it down just a little more. Aha! See there? That's what we want to fix. So this is how we're going to fix that. I've been thinking about it. How do we want to fix that? Well, let me tell you. We're going to put a piece of tape down. And I think we're going to have to put it on the outside, so it must be pretty. And I have just the thing for it. Oh, in fact, let's see. Maybe this, I've been storing this one piece right here. Yep, this will do just fine. Mr. Glue Stick is going to come and be our strengthener. Da-da-da, wiggle, wiggle, because we want to get it all over the place. Sometimes washi tape is just, it just doesn't want to stick. I made a little notebook and I used washi tape for the spine. It was just tiny and it just didn't want to stick. So there we go. And there is our problem solved. Okay. Oh, see what I mean? What did I tell you, Vern? It just wants to uncooperate. There we go. I'm going to hold it just for a minute. That doesn't look too bad, does it? Just adds another little piece of texture. Sure do like that. Oh, I could live there. Yeah, I could live there easily. The writing is on the wall. Get it? The writing is on the wall. Not funny. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to do is walk you through how to attach the eyelets for the string. And I might use ribbon on this one. Hey, we have a problem, Houston. What the hey? That was close. That was a close one. And you know what? Just because I don't trust it, it'll probably be all right. Okay, so let's go back to our prototype and open it up. Remember, we've got tuck, tuck, blank page. So this is going to be blank page, and you could put anything on there. And you don't even have to use tucks. You can do whatever you want. You can decorate it however you want. I'm just showing you the basics. And then the bottom, we're going to put a tuck there. We'll do that little tuck first, just because we want to show a kind of finished. Okay, and then roll up that one. Another tuck goes right there. Roll it up one more time. And there's our notepad. Okay. And now we're onto the edge. Okay, so how do we attach the eyelets? The eyelets go on the very top. Tucks, lots of tucks, lots of tucks. And you could do side tucks, you could do a belly band, whatever you want. Okay, so now this is also very easy. How tall is this sucker? This really doesn't matter. I'm just measuring because I'm kind of curious more than anything. I can't see that. There we go. There's for old people. 5 inches. So half of 5 is 2.5. It's actually like 5 and a little something something, 5 and a 16th. So 2.5 is right about there. We'll go with right about there. That works for me. Right about there is the best, although we want to be even. So again, this is where craft mat comes in so helpful. Craft mat, you can be the most helpful thing sometimes. Okay, so let's go. We're going to use our cross lines, and I want to make sure you can see the top. Okay, so you can see the top. I'm going to use my little hatches there. Just because I kind of want it to be kind of centered, I'm going to go with that one, 7.5, whatever that is. And I'm going to draw a dot there. Twine it over. And let's use our ruler because we're not that smart to figure out what we just did. I actually have a triangle here somewhere. That would be the best thing to do. Somewhere over the rainbow. I'm too lazy. Okay, so we're going to straighten. Now it's straight. Lines on the bottom. Make sure our ruler is pretty straight. And it really, honestly, I'm making way bigger of a deal than this needs to be. It really doesn't need to be a big deal. Better put my lid. Look at me. I'm lidless. I've got all my lids going crazy here. Put our lids back on. Don't lose your lid. Okay, we're going to take our same little small hole paper punch. almost missed. 1. And can't see with you in there. I don't even know where the other spot is. There it is. And there's the other one. Okay. Now, these little eyelets you can get anywhere. I happen to have them from a million years ago from, of course, Paper Source. Now, and I know that Crocodile, whatever, makes another eyelet setter that's way easier. It's a chomper thing, whatever it's called. But this is the easy peasy way to do this. So I've got 1 little guy, 2 little guys. Put those back. And I got these 100 years ago. Oops. And so you want to think about what's going to show. So the outside is going to show, right? So we're going to put them in from this direction. Okay, so it's going to look like that. Carefully flip it over. And I have this little setter. I don't even know where I got this, but it's called an eyelet setter. And there's a little hole there, and it just sort of naturally falls into the place it's supposed to be. And you take your little tiny cutesy hammer. And I always over hammer, but that was pretty good. And now you see that? It's all smooshed it in, not going nowhere or anywhere. We must be grammatically proper. Hey, 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 hey. Okay, we'll do it this way. These things are teeny tiny. Maybe tweezers would be in order. Okay. I think you could do a lot better, a lot less tapping. No, needs more. Yeah, 7 taps. You must use 7, exactly. I'm just kidding, of course. Okay, so we'll put that away. And now, hang on a second. Let me just think. Actually, ribbon would be kind of hard to thread through there. So I do think I'm going to use my thread again. Hold on, be right back.